A one-piece soundbar that you'd swear has a subwoofer? Let's check this out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at this. This is the very nice Vizio SB362An-F6. Let's just call it the 36-inch 2.1 channel soundbar. Now, what makes this really cool is no subwoofer, no satellite speakers, no complications. It's a single wire between the TV and the soundbar, and it gives you really nice room-filling sound. What's better is it has multiple inputs. So you not only have your TV input, and we're using optical, we'll come back to inputs in a minute, but it also has other choices, including Bluetooth. So I've paired it with my phone. So let's use my phone as a Bluetooth audio source and see how it sounds. I'm gonna turn the volume up pretty high. And you can't really tell, but this whole table is shaking right now, especially when we get to the drop in about 2 seconds. Ready? That is pretty nice. That is something that my kids appreciate. Now, let's turn that off for a minute because we don't need to stay on Bluetooth because we have this handy remote control. And with this, we're gonna switch inputs. And you can see here, these lights show up to show you what input you're on. And it takes a little getting the hang of it to figure out which is which, but not a huge problem. And now here we're gonna jump onto the TV. This is a Vizio 55-inch TV. It's a very nice 4K TV. I like Vizio in case you haven't figured that out. But we're on Netflix and I don't really have permission for Netflix, so we're gonna listen to and watch really, really short segments. So let's go ahead and start with this new show called Frontier. Looks pretty good. Let's actually start from the beginning. You ready? Let's see how this soundbar sounds with this particular show. And it should load in just a second or two. And I actually haven't seen this show yet, so I'm curious what it looks like too. So you already have that nice Netflix sound. It took a second to warm up, but I like all these shows that start out with super dramatic music. It just makes me ready for something really big and intense to happen. Now, I'm not really showing off the TV, so you don't really have to care what the image looks like. You're just hearing the music, right? So, you know what? Let's pause. And in fact, let's actually pause and back up. So I just want to tell you more about the soundbar because that's really what we're focused on. It's a really cool soundbar. Now, it obviously can sit flat on your table. It's super easy. It even has a cutout on the back for the wires, so you don't have to worry about it being a little bouncy. But you can also mount it on your wall. It's super easy. It just has 2 holes, and it even comes with a big piece of paper, so you can get those holes on the wall exactly in the right place. That makes it easy too. And as I said, it has lots of different inputs. On the back, as you can see in this close-up, there is a box, and on the box actually has power on one side, and on the other side it has optical, AUX, and USB. Now, I connected to my television with optical, and if you have that option, you should always use that. It's going to give you the best quality audio. But if you can't, then you could use included in the packages like an RCA to AUX. The optical cable is included, and with USB, you're not going to hook your TV up via USB, but you can put on a flash drive, or you could hook it up presumably to your computer. But let's, use it for your flash drive, and now you can have hundreds of songs, and now this becomes a really nice party speaker. Now, one of the things I had in mind when I got this from Vizio was, would this work in my son's dorm room? And the answer is, oh heck yeah, this would be a great dorm room speaker. You can just imagine it sitting on top of a cabinet or something, and it's low. People can put pieces of paper on it as needed, and then whenever you want to, you pick up your phone or your other Bluetooth device and you push out music, Spotify, whatever it is that you like to listen to, and this is going to make it sound great. When you're ready, you turn on your computer monitor, or maybe you have a big television, and then this becomes your TV soundbar. Total win, no other speakers, no other wires, a single thing to plug into the wall, super easy. Really, this is actually kind of the perfect dorm room. Maybe a little big for a dorm, but modern dorm rooms actually have a fair amount of space, at least the ones I've seen in the last couple of years. This would be a really good choice. Now, it also has other things. Number one, has the remote, and remote's very handy, but the remote gives you access to a couple of features that are really worth talking about, one of which is DTS Virtual X. This gives you simulated overhead sound. So what it does is you can see the ends are at a pretty, you know, sort of angle, oblique angle, whatever, and it pushes music up. And then that can bounce off the ceiling, and it gives you this really sort of surround envelope of audio. And if that's not enough, then Vizio has also included True Volume, which actually levels out the volume, which is more noticeable when you have really loud ads and really quiet TV shows. But all of that's really great, and you can turn it on and off with the remote, as you can see in this close-up. Gives you lots of other controls. I wish that there was a little display that showed you what input you would selected. There's a little bit of mystery involved in learning all the secret light code, but that's probably just a minute or two to figure out. And you have the integrated subwoofers and everything. So this is really all, like, this is the whole package right here. It's really, really nice. And all the cables are included. There's really not much else to talk about. I see very few downsides to this other than, again, I wish there was a better way to know which input you had chosen. But I guess if they don't want to have a display on here, then you're going to have some way that's really subtle. And the light does work. Oh, and it's also worth me telling you that on this side, as you can see in this close-up, there are actually 5 buttons. So if you don't even want the remote, you can just put it aside and you can just use these controls. And then with the input, then it becomes really easy because you can just choose inputs until you hear the source music that you want, whether it's Bluetooth, whether it's off your AUX cable, or whether it's off of a television. So really that kind of sidesteps a lot of my issues. So there's a lot to really like about this, not the least of which is the price. But before we get there, let me ask if you can go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Cool. Now, this Vizio SB362An-F6 36-inch 2.1 channel soundbar is going to cost you $139.99 at Vizio.com. But if you dig around online, I found it for under $100 at other online retailers. So I would definitely recommend that you shop around, and this is worth it. It's worth it at $139.99 because this is a great addition to any TV. And if you have an older TV and you're just relying on the little dinky speakers that are built into televisions, I don't care what brand it is, those are not very good speakers compared to adding a soundbar. And adding something like this with such a rich, lush sound, it's going to amaze you how much better all of your TV experiences are. So, this is Dave Taylor. I'm getting back to Frontier, which means I'll catch you in my next video.